This video will show you how to use the OPS Web Desktop portal at home to locate your work files that are saved on your home folder. It's also called your H drive. For the rest of this video, I will consider your home drive your H drive. This video assumes that you have saved your files at work to your H drive. If you have not, it is important that you do that step first. Look for a video on the OPS Tech Hub showing how to do this. When you are out of the OPS network, you cannot access your H drive, but the portal will allow this. I'm going to show you how to edit and save files back to your H drive so that when you're at home you can access them, and then when you go back to work your changes will be there also. I'm recording this on a Macintosh computer, but you can do the same steps on a PC computer. When you're at home, to access the portal, the first thing you need to do is open up a web browser and type in the address portal.ops.org. Notice that there are no W's in front of it. On the username and password, you're going to enter your network credentials and choose Login. Once logged in, you can go to the tab Office and Files. You can also look for it in your favorites if you have My Files. I'm going to click on Office and Files. Below there are 3 different types of viewers. You will never need to use these viewers unless you're trying to download one of your documents on a device that doesn't naturally have these programs. Most often you're going to use My Files. When you click on My Files, it will load up a few folders that are connected to your server. Right now I can see an old home files. The district is going through a transferring process so that staff members will organize their files and delete unused ones. If you have not transferred your old files over to the H drive, then you will locate your files inside here. I've already transferred some of my files, so I'm going to be working in the H drive. Now a reminder that on November 27, 2013, the old home files folder will no longer be here. Inside the home folder, there's a couple ways that you can get into the folder. You can click the plus sign on the left side and navigate through your folders this way. Or you can click on the home folder on the main pane 2 times fast and it will open up those same folders. The folder that I'm going to be working through is the miscellaneous folder. However, there's a security warning that's popped up on my screen. Your folder's actions are being made possible by using Java. And this is warning me that it's going to run an applet, and do I want to block it from coming through from Java, or do I want to not block it? I want Java to be able to do its job, so I'm going to choose Don't Block. It's important that you allow it to run. I'm going to model how you would open up a file, edit it, and save it so that it would be back on the H drive when you return to work. The file I'm looking for is inside my miscellaneous folder. I'm going to go down into my sample document, and when I double click it, it's going to start looking on my computer for Microsoft Word, and it will load up Microsoft Word and load up my document. I'm going to make just a few quick changes to that document and then show you how you can save it so that when you go back to work, the changes will be there. I'm going to take some of this text and change the color of it, maybe make it just a little bit smaller. And now I'm done working and I want to make sure that these changes go back to the H drive. I'm going to slide down this window so that you can see the portal hiding behind it. When I press the Save button, or if I close out of the document and press Save, it's going to naturally detect the portal in the background and it's going to upload to the same place that it originally was. And it will replace the original document with my new one. I'm going to press Save and look up near this arrow where it says File Uploader. When it makes the changes, you'll see that it changes by dragging across and giving me a message that says that the changes have been saved successfully. Now I'm ready to close that document. And if you went back to work and you went down and you found your H drive and you wanted to see if that same document had been changed when you were at work, you can open up the document and see if it changed from the green to the red. And there are my changes. Now that's great if you already had a document created, but let's say that you wanted to create a brand new document at home and then save it so that it was available for work. I'm going to start a brand new blank document, and remember, pretend that I'm at home, and I'm going to name this lunch schedule, and I need to save this to my computer so that I can upload it to the portal. When I do this, I like to keep track of what I need to send to the portal, so when I save it, I've created a folder on my desktop. In the folder I created, I called Upload to Portal. That way, anything that I need to upload before I'm finished working on it, I remember is inside that folder. It's important that you close the document before you upload it, or it might error as it's going through the upload. Now, with the portal running back behind, there's a couple things that I can do to get it uploaded. I could drag and drop it to this arrow, so that's the first way that I'll show you. I need to locate that file on my computer inside my Upload to Portal folder, and I'm going to drag that file until it's up by that arrow, and when I release it, it's going to start to upload it. But the problem was is I put that in my miscellaneous folder, and I really didn't want it in my miscellaneous folder. I really wanted to upload it to my schedules folder. So it's important that you change the folder that you're on before you do your upload. It's not a problem though, because inside I can click on the file, and there's some actions. Up at the top in the action window, I could do a couple things. I could cut it from here and go paste it into another folder, or I could delete it and go through the upload again. So that's one way that you could upload, but remember to make sure that you're in the correct folder. I'm going to show you a second way to upload it, but this time I'll make sure that I'm on the right folder. The green arrow at the top lets me go back one folder, and I'm going to open up my schedules folder. Now I can go through upload in a separate way. I'll go to action, and there's an upload inside there. This allows me to press add and look through my computer for the file that I'm wanting to upload. And then I can continue adding, so if I had several files, as long as I wanted them all inside this folder. I'm going to choose upload. It tells me that I'm done. And now in the background I can see there's my lunch schedule. Sometimes when you're working with files, it might take you a while to get through all of your work, and Safari or the OPS WebDesktop portal is set to close out after an hour of inactivity. If you save throughout the time that you're working, that won't be a problem. But if you haven't saved and an hour goes by, you may get logged out. If you're saving and you get an error that looks like this warns you that you've logged out of the portal and it's not saving. You'll need to go back, log into the portal, and try saving again. Another error that you might come across is when you're trying to download one of your documents, you might get an error that says something about an applet or an action not being able to work. That's Java. That's telling you that whatever level of Java you have, it's not updated. So I'm going to walk you through some steps in just a moment on how to make sure that's updated. Before I leave our files, just a reminder that up in the action there are a lot of different things that you can choose to do with a file. I will give you this tip. If you plan to email the file, it works really well, but you have to type in the person's whole email address. If I'm trying to email a file to somebody within Omaha Public Schools, I usually don't use the email within the portal. What I do instead is look for the first class client on the computer, and I download that file, and then I email it through the first class client. That way I can just type in the first part of the person's name and then it finds it, or I can email it to a full conference. Now I'm going to close out of the different files that I have by using the red X, and it will tell me that I'm ready to leave the page. That's okay, I'll leave the page, and back behind is the portal. I'm going to show you that in the Account tab at the top, there is a system check that you can go through. That system check tells you if you have the latest Java update. If you go through and you're not sure if you have the latest, there's a little magnifying glass that when you click on it, I'm going to say don't block, when you click on it, it gives you a link where you can install the latest Java. This concludes your training on using the files from your Work H drive when you're working at home by using the OPS WebDesktop portal. But what's great about this is that you can also use it when you're at OPS. Maybe you're going to different schools or different rooms and you want to locate the files on your working computer. As long as you can get to a web browser and go to portal.ops.org, you can access your files. Check out some of our other Web Desktop Portal training videos at www.ops.org/tech hub. Have a great day.